Start recording.
Start
broadcasting. Yo, we're here. Oh, and we have other people here on a crazy late night edition of Shanahan's Live. So crazy.
We have guests?
I'm gonna put on my hat now.
Whoa.
Boom.
Excellent.
Katie's here.
What's up?
I'm here.
I'm so tired.
Are you now? I'm gonna open the chat for whoever are left.
If you've waited, thank you very much.
Yeah, if you wait around today, we had to change the schedule a little.
Yeah, I'm running a really tight deadline at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to keep working on the Storyboard Pro program because I can't take that stuff home.
No?
No, you need a... Well, I mean,
What does one need?
The show I'm working on is pretty tight security, so I can't take anything home. I have to work in studio. So where I'm used to working freelance when I can do anything I want work-wise at any hour, now I have to keep it strictly at studio time. So it's good. Oh, I'm so tired. But it was ice cream day today.
Oh, that's nice. What does one do on ice cream day at work?
They sent out an email that the ice cream truck is coming by and you'll get complimentary soft serve. And and then it's like 3 in the afternoon, the PA goes on, they're like, the ice cream truck is here. Then you hear the do-do-do-do-do really loud over the sound. And I've never seen grown adults move so fast. People just like run from the desk because it's like, free ice cream!
Yeah.
And we get out there though and it's like 20-30 minute wait in the just soupy heat because it's so hot. And we're like, must have ice cream. So we're just slowly
and like the work effort deteriorates from there because you're all just tired.
But it's like every 15 minutes I'm out there, I'm like, oh, I gotta work late here to make it fun.
This ice cream break is just taking.
Oh, but it was so good. Soft serve. I haven't had ice cream truck soft serve.
Chat
so
doesn't want to work. Come on, chat.
They were giving away dip cones and the twisty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so good.
That sounds nice.
Delightful.
We used to, back when I worked in the studios, ice cream truck would come by, but it wasn't a free ice cream truck.
Like,
so
the ice cream truck.
I don't know what deal you guys are striking.
Well, it's I'm staying way longer than my 9 hours.
Suppose they do that. This is a learning show, of course, as we say once in a while. Welcome to Shanahan's Live. I don't know if we said the title.
Hi.
This is a learning show. For those of you who join us, if this chat will open up, we will be able to see.
Because we don't know if anybody's even watching.
Yeah, we'll be able to see who's there.
But we record these for posterity.
We do record them, but all right,
that's not the word.
All right, let's just take care of that quickly then. We do record these episodes, and since we are cheap and we don't pay for the Ustream Pro,
$90 a month,
and we hit our 10 gig limit, we're gradually moving older episodes over to the new YouTube channel.
Yes.
Shanahan's Live.
Good
I believe it's called. I added.
Someone has Shanahan's.
Because someone else has Shanahan's.
Someone has Shanahan's Tumblr, and I was just like, and she hasn't updated it in a year.
That's the most infuriating part when you have the best name and someone else already got it but they don't use it.
Those other like, Shanahans.
How much you want to give me for it?
I know. Shanahan. And if you're joining us for the first time, we are comic making siblings from Toronto. I'm Katie, the Shaggy.
Yeah.
And the chat is not loading.
No, this chat is just rubbish tonight. It is just not working in our favor.
It's also like, I didn't have ice cream day.
I want to hear what you guys have to say, all three of you. So I want to pop out the chat. If I pop out 5 or 6 times, sometimes it works. I have to close.
You have to restart everything.
Twitter, go away, maybe that'll work. But as this is an educational show, yes, sometimes you get free things when you work in the studio system. I remember way back. I think the only free thing I ever got was way back when I worked for like this company for Alliance. There was like the building. It wasn't even the studio. It was just the building had like barbecue day, which is the greatest day ever.
I remember that from school.
And one year I couldn't make it. It's like one day in a year, and I had something else I had to do.
Yeah, that's why you gotta take it. Yeah. I remember the first time I worked in a studio. It was a flash show, and I was on the night shift, so my schedule was 4 p.m. till midnight. And a lot of times, the schedule is the show has to get done, but we don't really know what the schedule's like. We're just doing grunt work animation. So when the studio owner would come by with a box of donuts at 11:50, we'd be like, "Oh no," because that meant that we had to stay as late as possible to get all our shots done.
Oh, it was like
so every time he came in with the Tim Hortons, it's just like, oh, and you're eating these damn donuts that are just giving you that energy, but you have to stay till 4 in the morning to get your scenes done because you didn't know till that day it was due.
This channel. I really want to talk to you guys, but the chat just is not loading.
It's fun when we get to bounce off of the audience.
Because otherwise I gotta make up stuff on my own.
I guess we could talk to each other.
We could. I got nothing to say.
I don't think I've seen you in a week.
Has that been the case?
Yeah.
I've been busy doing nothing, not things. It just feels like nothing because I've just been writing resumes and fixing
That's something. Jobs
it feels so like nothing because I'm just like in the same spot all week, just like.
That's what I'm doing every day.
No. I'm just waiting for the fish to bite. I'm in this big river of business.
Yeah. So what he's saying, if you guys have jobs.
Oh, yeah.
You need
Throw them my way. I'm desperate. Well, while the chat is loading, not at all, Ustream. Shame on you. Everyone keeps telling us we should go to like a different thing, like cam other thing.
I don't even know what that is.
All
I know is live stream.
Yeah, that one.
That's the only other one. I was looking at the two of them and just trying to research what was best for this, but...
One that would work.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
So what you got over there?
What do I have over here? Oh, I have my list of things to talk about. And before, alright, so let's just set this up. This is a spoiler-free zone! We won't spoil any of your shows!
We won't?
No, so far, Game of Thrones Season 2 is amazing.
Oh, you're watching it?
Yes.
I was gonna get
We're not gonna spoil it
for you. Okay.
I'm watching it. It's great. It's amazing. You should be watching it too.
Excellent.
Next spoiler-free zone.
This is gonna shut off after
Legend of Korra. Oh, so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, I cannot wait till Saturday.
I cannot wait.
I thought this was gonna be the season finale because someone said this was
They did something stupid where last week they're like, in 2 weeks, the final battle, the season finale. And I'm like, oh, so we're waiting for this final thing. It's like, no, there's an episode next week. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Why would you? Oh my gosh, the chat just opened now.
Oh, hey, people.
It finally worked.
Who's
All right,
going around?
we got Brooke Chan saying hi, but that was a while back.
Hello.
That's not even in current time. We got TV Dinner saying hi, everyone, and we got
hello.
Ecobear Design.
Sound off. Who's here?
Hey, made it.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, if you're watching,
thanks for sticking around for the late show.
Because we've got more spoiler-free zone happening.
All right. What's next?
What have I watched recently?
Just like the sound of that thing.
I know. I think this is like a new idea.
Isn't that your phone for when the house calls you?
Yes.
It's mother.
No, actually, that's my last wake up. That's the Imperial March, just for the family.
Oh.
That's my last ditch. We got Endless guys. Join us here.
Welcome.
We're just talking about how Korra. Oh.
Yeah.
Korra.
So good.
If you guys are just like, oh, this Japanime business. It's made in America.
That's an annoying person.
You gotta watch it. You know, go back, watch Avatar. You know, sometimes it could be a little too silly, and you're like, oh. Sometimes it could be a little too puppy love, and you're like, ugh. But you know what? What sandwiches in between
is awesome.
Is the best sandwich you've ever had. And then it goes into Korra, and then Korra just it doesn't cut out all the puppy love crap because there's some like not really a spoiler, but there's like the last few episodes kind of like have like something important going on, and then at the side it's like.
Yeah, but drama, you know, you can't help it. You gotta save the world,
dude.
If your heart's
got
hurting,
bigger issues.
Yeah, but sometimes it's.
I'll sit in the back.
Move over.
Basically, if you remember the best episode of season 1, Adventure Time with Lumpy Space, basically the most recent episode of Korra went Lumpy Space.
Oh my god.
Where it's like, move over. I'm gonna sit in the back.
Yeah.
Basically, I actually want that picture now. It's unfortunate that I don't see our good friend drawing our pictures for us, Chris.
No.
But that's cool.
Boo. Actually, I started a Facebook page for Shanahanigans Live.
Oh, yeah?
Or just Shanahanigans. And I'm collecting everybody's awesome fan arts. And
yeah.
And Chris's crazy little
Chris's
meme
big
signs.
Collection,
or
a Flex Fox, whichever you rather.
Yeah.
His big collection of art and mimetic material can all be found at...
On Facebook, Shanahanigans.
At least we got Facebook. That one.
Yeah. I know.
I'm surprised.
I grabbed it up a while ago.
Is that a page or a group?
It's a page.
I have no... Wait. I guess I know the difference. I think page anyone can access. They don't have to be like a member of...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's encouraged like people from outside of Facebook. Endless Guy's saying, I'm almost done with season 2. Is that of the original Avatar, I believe, I guess? Yes, that would be the book of... Earth. Yeah.
Oh! What? Apparently there's another season of Korra coming up after this as well.
No!
Yeah. But my insider sources say they're working on it right now.
Good.
Yeah. Because I thought that this was going to be the only because it feels like it's coming to this conclusion.
It feels like the conclusion.
Apparently, it's just book
quick.
1. Because I guess if book 1 happens in the city, maybe there's other places to adventure off to after.
Well, actually, the entirety not.
Because that's been talking with friends about the show. I think that was a complaint some people had, where the original Avatar. This isn't spoilers.
Spoiler free.
This isn't spoilers. The original Avatar was a lot of adventuring around because he's trying to ace each element. So he's got to go. He's got the ice place and the snow place, and then he's got to go to the earth place, and it's a lot of wandering in villages and meeting new people. All these adventures take place in a city, and I mean, I think that also puts up to a lot of stuff.
Series of conflicts
because there's a ton of stuff happening in a city, a lot of great shops.
Well, because the other thing is when you have a story that's traveling, it's not. It's kind of you got to really shoehorn in when there's there was a secret passage over here. Meanwhile, if a whole series is based in one location and you discover more things about that location, that's what made Lost so interesting for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
it's
true.
We're here all the time, but there's something new in this established environment versus. What's in this new town? Oh, a secret thingamadding.
Yeah, but I mean, they're in this ragtime 40s kind of place. There's tons of stuff to do. I mean, I love being in a city.
Yeah, no, there's plenty to do. I love there's one of the greatest scenes was when it was Cora was training and just the radio's playing some old swanky tunes. I'm like, that's classy. I like this mix. I've always I've kind of written stuff in a similar kind of timeline.
I like too when you look at the costumes. It's she very much has this country bumpkin kind of feel to her with she's very water tribe, but you can see other people that are waterbenders that have more of a
they've adapted
city
to
style.
The city. Yeah, a lot of
more
careful
elegant
work has went into it, which is interesting. TVJ says, "Hey Shaggy, I've seen people streaming live on YouTube before. Maybe you should move the show there." I've seen
people are mean on YouTube.
I've seen U2 and Bieber stream live at a concert. I didn't know individual
that we could stream.
Proletariat, I keep using that word once a week if I can. Such as ourselves, the common people.
Oh, is that what
I didn't know we could. Yeah, I got that from 1984.
The proletariat.
Because he kept saying it, and I'm like, what does this mean? So I looked it up. I'm like, it's
double plus
me.
I'm a proletariat.
Yay! I don't know if the common people can use YouTube as streaming yet. And if they did, I guess they'd become a huge powerhouse. But it's possible, maybe. I don't know if I need a special.
I feel
account.
could anybody stream? Because I feel that could unload a lot of.
What?
I guess you could upload just about anything, and then if the YouTube police find they don't like it, they'll take it down.
I don't know. The interesting thing is Ustream right now. As I said, a lot of the old episodes, because we're hitting our cap, we have to push our old episodes over to YouTube. It's actually a pretty simple process, fortunately enough. I just go into the files and just say send to YouTube, and it does it. Creepy Porpoise says, hi guys, I say hello.
Hi Creepy Porpoise.
You're from the West Coast, right?
Yeah, this is actually a better time for you.
This show for you, this 9 o'clock late night.
That's your
Shan Live.
6 o'clock, I think.
Maybe. We've been out that way. We know how you guys work with your backwards clock.
West Coast. Your gas-powered...
Your future time.
Your giant blimps.
This is much better. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. Wait, do you say they have giant blimps?
I don't know.
The gas-powered clock that's
electrical.
Of Vancouver. Yeah, I don't remember there being blimps in Vancouver.
No, but there was a gas-powered clock.
Yes, there was. Though it was electrical. It was a big lie. No, it was a big sham. Do we have any more spoiler-free news? Let's find out.
Spoilers.
Spoiler-free zone. I recently checked out. Happy I did. I actually wasted a whole morning, but I wouldn't say wasted. I watched Holy Musical Batman. If you're a fan of the Star Kid people, the guys who made Harry Potter musical,
and
Me and My Dick, Space something or other. They've done a bunch of them, and they did a sequel. I didn't know this, but it was actually way back in April or March that they released this. It's Holy Musical Batman. They did a Batman musical, and it's phenomenal. It's jaw-dropping. If you were here last week and you saw how much I hated Oklahoma... It is this movie, Holy Musical Batman is leaps and bounds. It kicks the piss out of Oklahoma in so many ways. It's enjoyable. The songs are fun. There's great acting. Great. Alfred is a highlight.
You'll have to get to the
no spoilers, but you gotta check it out. Look, it's gonna be a bit of a time investment. It's like a full-length musical. It's broken up into 2 parts. Each episode of those 10 minutes. Holy Musical Batman, Star Kid Potter. Not Star Kid Potter, but just Star Kid. It's funny. It's great. And what I found out after finishing it was they had a panel at C2E2 while we were there.
Oh, dang.
And all the whole cast was there in their costumes and everything, and we may have just ran into them and not known because I didn't know that musical existed at the time. But it was a big Q&A. And I recall seeing a Star Kid thing on the schedule, but didn't really think much of it because I'm like, what are they talking about? Because I didn't know they were doing anything recently. I was just like, Star Kid? What are they doing here? Maybe it's a different Star Kid. Maybe it's like a role playing. But no, it was them. And I'm like, I missed it. But I didn't see it anyway, so I wouldn't have appreciated it. I wouldn't have been able to ask questions.
Yeah, now you can seek them out at the next one.
Definitely check that out. If you haven't seen the Potter musical, check that out. It is jaw-droppingly funny. It's brilliant. You know,
the best Voldemort ever.
Yes. Voldemort and Snape.
I love this. The Snape is hilarious.
They are.
He's so goofy.
It is a brilliant, it washes out the horrible musicals of the past you've seen. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and Me and My Dick is actually a really sweet story.
Is it? I didn't really finish it because I just didn't have, I was kind of rushing. I didn't have time to
No, it's actually kind of touching.
Is it? Yeah. Good.
And Voldemort plays the guy's dick.
Yes, the guy plays Voldemort. It's brilliant.
So silly.
I sent you a clip actually of one of their older projects. They didn't really film it, but it was a Gollum because they did way back when they first started. They did The Hobbit.
Oh no way!
And then they did
That's awesome.
The Hobbit 2, The Lord of the Rings. But this is all in their like college days, and they have like this Gollum puppet that is phenomenal. I sent you the clip on your Facebook. You gotta watch that.
I can't go on Facebook when I'm working.
Well, when you come home, you should look at it.
I come home, I pass out.
Do you have flavored lip balm that has barks and coke?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Check this.
Well, we can go to camera 2 if we want. Let's see if camera 2 is gonna work. Kitty cam. Go, go, go.
It was
Palm.
dumb because I don't know. Lip Smackers has this weird aftertaste that just doesn't taste right, but it smells good. So I got Fanta, cherry flavored Fanta, orange, Lip Smacker, Sprite, Coke, vanilla, Coke.
You got vanilla Coke?
Yeah, you want some?
No. I'd rather have a real vanilla Coke.
I know.
Barks Root Beer has endless, guys. Hey, I have a lip balm that
fantastic.
is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh,
Still haven't opened it yet, though.
It was this or Skittles. I was feeling like treating myself.
Really? I've earned this. I've earned this lip balm today.
It's after a hard day of work. I'm standing in Shoppers Drug Mart like, this is all good. I'm an adult.
Clear Forbes says, don't know if they sold them all on one huge package. Oh, they did. Didn't know. Yes, they did.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, I guess with that, Coke owns Barks then?
Oh, they probably own all this.
I know they own Fanta and Sprite. I didn't know they owned Barks though.
Actually, I want the purple again.
Is that Fruitopia or Fanta?
It's Fanta.
Yeah. Do we ever talk about those like super machines that are going around now?
Yeah, I haven't used one yet though.
Yeah.
Mix your own cola.
If they're probably popping up everywhere, but for us they're kind of majorly showing up in movie theaters and Hero Burgers. And essentially it's, you remember the old cola dispensers, soda, whatever you want to call it. You put your drink and you're like, oh, Sprite, oh, Coke, oh, it's a lemon thing. Well now, they've gotten rid of the variety in the sense that there's only one nozzle. But, through the digital magic of the future, you can now pick all your flavors on a touch screen. So you're like, I will enter the Coke category, and now I would like it to be orange Coke.
Wait, is this how we came up with that crab flavored Coke last time?
I don't remember.
Because people were making reference last time, and I was like, what?
Oh no, it's crab, yeah. One flavor is crab, so that's why we have crab flavored Coke. Yeah. Now, speaking of this like convenience of magic, have you seen the new pizza dispenser machine thing out there? On my Tumblr, I think I posted up the video. Check that out. Look up Shaggy's Mind Sauce. And it's a machine. And we've talked about the cupcake machine. Yeah. That's like, Portland written all over it. It was basically like, you go up to the machine. I'm only talking like this because the other one had an accent, but I don't think this one did. It's like, and then you pick your cupcake, and then you pick what you want on it, and then a box of a cupcake goes to the machine, and a friggin' laser cuts a hole and sprinkles it.
And then you throw the box out.
And then it comes out to you, and you're like, yes. Now, what ups the ante is the pizza vending machine.
I was going to say, though, that's the commercial. I'm picturing the actual thing is a sad cupcake, like, falls upside down. Yeah. Nice thing first.
The pizza vending machine, and its big selling point is untouched by human hands.
Oh.
So you don't get bubbles all over it, or something like that. Like, that's basically the push.
That's the best part of pizza.
That's what they're basically selling, is like, no humans have ever touched it. This is a synthetic creation, like the Cylons. Yum, yum.
That was weird.
And it's like,
well, the
worst is the commercial. The commercial, I think, was actually originally shot in a different language or something, and the dub is so not even on. It's amazing. It's funny. But basically, it's a machine it's the size of like 2 vending machines. But you go in, you put your coin and your quid in, or your card, and in the tube it goes, and it mushes up with fresh, never frozen dough and water, and then it somehow makes it into a pizza.
But do you have to wait 40 minutes?
Oh no, it's 3 minutes. Check it. So in the first minute, it's like, and it goes, and then it goes, and it flattens it out, so it's pizza sign.
Okay.
Then it moves it over. They had this whole internal machine. It's amazing. Watch this video. I put it on. Check out Shaggy's Mind Sauce Tumblr. And it goes over here, and then they got this sauce dispenser that's kind of like, it's basically like this, and it spins. It's like a laser. It's like, and it starts the radius of sauce and goes all the way in, and it doesn't really get the center, but it gets most of it. And then it's like, and then anything else you bloody wanted, when you press the buttons, we slop it all on there too.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the oven is prepping itself and it's getting to a heat, right? And so the pizza then makes its way through the magic of conveyor belts into this oven. It sits there for like a good minute. And then it's like, and then we kill a tree and make a box for you right in that machine. And a bleeding box comes out and you can put a thing on it. And you take it home.
How do you cook a pizza in a minute?
Because it's heated and it's all like, and there's no human touch. And so,
like, what is that?
No, the best part now, it's like, now for extra couple bucks, if you want to eat it right now, it's a vending machine, maybe you don't want to eat it now.
Throw it in your bloody face.
Then you press the button, and a bloody knife will come out, and you can carve it up yourself, and it's like made of potatoes, so it's biodegradable. Or something like that.
What?
So basically, it's this whole system.
I don't know if I want to eat a pizza that's cooked in 1 minute.
Well, it could be good.
Weird. I guess it's like Back to the Future where they put the tiny little...
We're getting there.
It's like,
I don't know what we're going to get to first. Back to the Future or Star Trek.
That used to make us
laugh. Because we can now print bicycles. But Back to the Future was, the mom has the little pizza, which looked awesome.
Hey, can I put that all in my
mouth? And young Marty Jr. is like, I'm going to pop the whole thing in my mouth. And Marty Sr. goes, don't you be a smartass.
We used to rewind that.
We rewind it all the time and laugh. Because he just goes, don't you be a smartass in such a funny way. And then she's like, 1 second, please.
Sorry.
And then the microwave pops out a full prepared pizza. And a similar thing happened, and of course...
And I remember just being like, how did they do that in the movie?
A similar thing happened in Fifth Element with the chicken, when she pours the seeds into the bowl and puts it in, and she pulls out and she's like... she has this giant bowl of chicken.
I do say that
when I chicken good. I do that too. It was so good. She was amazing in that movie. If you haven't seen Fifth Element yet, treat yourself. It's a little cheesy at times, but it is a riot to watch.
Fun. I think it's just a really fun adventure story.
Yeah, it's honestly, it holds up. Bruce Willis is like, he's somewhat fish out of water, but it works because it's like everything's so zany around him. Mm-hmm. And then like friggin' what's his face?
Ian Holm.
No, Ian Holm. The radio guy. Guys from Rush Hour. Chris Tucker is jaw dropping in that film. He is amazing. He like makes the second half of the film. So check out the Pizza Machine.
And then watch Fifth Element.
Watch Fifth Element with your bloody pizza. Wow. And the weirdest thing I caught in this ad is the lady who's definitely being dubbed over or whatever. Like she, in the end, when she reaches down to get the friggin' knife that was generated out of magic, like she completely clearly she's forgotten to button up that blouse. But there was
that was on purpose.
It was on purpose, but it's like just that one moment it really stands out. That
you're like, that's distracting.
Dude, I'm trying to learn about pizza. You got your breast disease all out. Mm-hmm. I want to learn. Mm-hmm. Stop distracting.
I find that with a lot of serious forensic shows. I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to anything. So I'm just staring at her chest the whole time.
It's like these bodies over here. And you're like,
it's like, I gotta get into this car and find evidence. And then she's got her evening wear makeup on.
There was an amazing moment in Community season 2 or 3 when there was like a heist going on there in the hallway, and like Abed and Troy are both like distracted for half a second by Annie. And then they're just like, guys, and they just kind of pop back off.
Those two are
so check out Community if you haven't seen it. Community is a phenomenal show. Let's jump back in. Hey, Flexbox saying something tells me the pizza can't be very good if the king of Spain taught us anything. Slow pizza is most luscious.
Luscious.
There you go. That was like a weird version of delicious. It was like luscious.
You invented slang.
But yeah, that's the magic. So basically, we're getting to this point where we haven't hit the replicator just yet. We haven't hit Back to the Future just yet, but it's getting there. We've got cola machines that through the internet will send new recipes using the included ink packs of flavor to create new drinks whenever and however they want to. So Coke could be like, hey, guess what? Let's have, as we said before, crab flavored Coke. Boop. And then everyone has it. We've got the pizza machine that makes you a pizza without the touch of the human hand, despite the fact that the human hand brought the dough to the machine. And we also have the printer that can make the bicycle. So, we're getting there.
Robots are going to freaking take over.
Everyone's getting tablets. There's a funny picture I saw, or unfortunately when I look at it, that was like Windows, Bill Gates announces touch tablet Windows device. No one cares. Steve Jobs has the iPad. Everyone goes nuts. Windows makes a new tablet, which they're all advertising now, and everyone says Apple ripped them off. And then the last picture is a picture of Picard holding up his tablet from Star Trek, and he's just like, please, just like, he's always had it. Yeah. So like they were first. But basically, if you like read Ender's Game, or were read Ender's Game, and Star Trek and stuff, it's like all this stuff is happening now. All these tablets and touch surfaces. It all comes down to whether it's as fancy, because we all want that Tony Stark, it's basically what we all wanted Kinect to do for us. We didn't want stupid games where we hit things. Mm-hmm. We wanted it to be Minority Report, or at the very least, Iron Man. Mm-hmm. So we can go. Now, I believe we're getting there. It's going to be a while. May not be my time. Mm-hmm. What's happening?
Probably will be, because I'm thinking like even just when we first got these iPhones.
Yeah.
That wasn't very long ago.
That's been pretty quick.
And I've become so used to it that now I can put my music on this, and I can look at maps, and I can call. I was talking to Jerry about this. I used to have a Discman that I have a giant extra purse for my CDs.
Yeah.
And this clunky huge cell phone.
Here's a question for all you. Did you ever think you'd ever say the words "back in my day"? Because we all like say it like a joke, like, ha, that old guy doesn't get our VHS technology. He's used to like live performance. But then we're like, back in my day, we had Big Shiny Tunes too, and it was on a disc. It was. They crammed the best 16, 15 songs. Nowadays, the kids have so many songs. What could be considered the best? They can make their own choice now. It's crazy. Make their own playlists and take over a billion songs with them.
I went dancing in the club the other day, and I didn't know any of the songs.
There was this thing called the dumb step or something.
The dumb step?
Sounded pretty dumb, I admit.
Yeah, I felt like that. I went to a bachelorette party and I was just like,
and you're like, well, the rhythm I kind of get.
Weird. No, the problem with this place though is that they had big screens everywhere where they'd play the music videos. So it's like at some point it's like I'd just kind of be watching the music videos and not really
that's well done.
And people be having a conversation. I can't hear anything, so I'm just watching the music videos.
That was my problem. If you guys ever, I don't know if it's really in America, but you have restaurants here called Jack Astors. It's just basically like your, I guess, TGIFs or whatever, and maybe I haven't really seen them when I was in the States. Jack Astors is great. Mm-hmm. They're fun. You get your root beers. You can draw on the table because all the tables are
best restaurants. You can draw on the table.
Great restaurant for animators and comic artists because you guys they give you pencil crayons. Everyone. This ain't no child bias. Everyone gets pencil crayons. And crayons. Crayons. Colored crayons, not pencil crayons. And you all just go to town. Every anime convention we've went to, we always go to Jack Astors, and it's like art. That aside, it's just like, you get good nachos and a lot of like pan Thai cuisine and stuff like that. Pan Asian.
Thai?
Like pan Asian, like mix. How'd I get here? Okay. But the problem is when they started making them in downtown, usually they kind of popped up around where movie theaters were because they kind of became these independent little event environments. Like, not theme park per se, but like a movie theater would show up and then all these restaurants and bars and glow-in-the-dark golf would show up around it.
Yeah.
And a Jack Astor's inevitably shows up there too. And they're all kind of like family fun and whatever. When they started opening up in Toronto, they had to make them different and trendy and weird. So they opened one near the theater at like John and the other street, Richmond Ish. And it's like they filled it with monitors with the most ADD-inducing content. Like it's basically a YouTube party during dinner, but you don't get to watch the clip longer than 10 seconds. Because they basically have a reel of miscellaneous footage.
Yeah, suddenly it's the Ren and Stimpy clip, and then it's some guy on a stagecoach.
And then it's like a guy and a lady getting married underwater, and then it's like funny cat videos, and this is just going. And I'm thinking, okay, this is great if you're on a first date, and you guys have no idea how this date happened at all, and who each other are, and you have nothing to talk about, because you can just like, look and be like, oh, I once punched a penguin, or something like that.
Because then you have to keep watching TV together all the time where you have nothing to
say.
But
what's even worse, though, is if you know who you're hanging out with, the screens are still distracting. So, like, if there's ever a pause in conversation, you don't have time to even think of something else to say, because then you're like,
check that out.
And then you're looking this way, and there's 20 other screens, so they're probably looking over there, and it's just weird, like,
terrible conversation.
I don't know, I don't like how they do it. Like, I prefer to sit on patio and get away from it. It's just like, it's a weird design choice of like having so much visual, not even like art stimulation. It's like content where it's like you could focus on it.
Well, it's like commercials. It's
like paintings is like setting an environment, but when it's like stuff happening that you should be focused on, you're like, oh, that's a clip from Flintstones. I should be watching that. I don't know.
It's volume 2 sometimes. There's a
Oh, it's so loud sometimes. Yeah.
Well, there's a pub. No, it's like a little restaurant on Queen Street, the Tequila Bookworm.
Oh yeah,
I guess.
Sounds
and
like a nice.
I remember
place.
first hearing about it because it was something someone wrote about where they were like, "Oh, this is where I love to go and write." And so one time I was like, "Yeah, you know, I want to work on a comic."
I did that once.
So I'm gonna go.
Laptop.
You have a story about that? Yeah, I went in just to draw. Oh, about the guy who told you to. Time's up, mate.
Oh,
give me a second. Give me a second.
Story. Yeah,
because it's like I've been in there one time when I was working on a comic doing pencils, and they were playing Iron and Wine, so it's just really nice, easygoing music. And I was like, oh, I like this. But every time I've gone back since, it's like the person in the back wants to hear the music, so they've got it pumped up. And I can't even sit there because the speakers are just pounding to this annoying. And the thing is, you go into Tequila Bookworm. And there's bookshelves full of science fiction and fantasy, and just you can sit there and read, but you can't when they're blasting music, and it doesn't matter what it is.
2 floors?
So
is the music everywhere? I thought it'd just be on the main floor.
Top floor is kind of a weird, cramped area. So it's like, in principle, I like the place. I like their food, but I mean, I can't even think when I'm in there because it's so loud. Now your story.
Actually, I'm surprised you remember because I completely forgot that story. It was just one time I was there on a laptop or something, and I had my drink and my food, I think. And I was there for like maybe a good hour after I was done. Mm-hmm. I forget who came up to me, but I completely forget the story, so I'm just kind of piecing it together vaguely from what you just said. But the bartender, Sunbaes, like verbatim, was like, "What? Time's up, boy," or something like that, or mate.
Yeah.
Time's up, mate. Gotta order something or something like that. Like he basically laid down the law that I wasn't a customer.
I'm used to people sitting in places working.
Yeah, I don't know. I completely forgot that story though. It was probably better at the time though. I can't remember it. Mm-hmm. The wording was fun though. It was fun when it happened because I was just like, that never happens. I started.
Just sound like there was this.
You're like, wait, what are you doing? Don't write that down. I'm like,
everything.
Stop.
I can't shut it off.
Stop talking! You're just money! You're brilliant!
That's so weird.
It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're so inspirational!
This is my oeuvre!
You're my muse! I would have got rid of him for a bit.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I would have gotten rid of you.
I've kind of like given up on trying to write in other places. Like I've done it at the time mainly just because I lived in really small places and just couldn't focus.
Sometimes I just like to get out of the studio. It gets crazy. I've got this perfect space for working in, and I just don't want to be in it some days.
It's gigantic, huge.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like you just want to get out of your norm. That's why sometimes writers will stick themselves in a crappy little hotel when they have a deadline.
Maybe.
Or their friend's luxurious summer cottage, jerks.
How many people do you know have luxurious friends summer cottages? Damn.
Nobody.
No, I can find it too, I guess. I always wanted that where it's like, oh, come to my summer home. And it's like, what's the summer home about? And then you make memories.
Just gotta get in with some people with summer homes.
Yeah, does anyone online have a summer home?
Do you guys have summer homes?
It's like you read all the stories and they always start with a summer home.
All the stories?
Usually.
and a hole in the ground there was a summer home.
Flux saying, I was thinking about that because it's too warm here to write the hotel thing. Really? It's too warm in the hotel? I figured the hotel would be like the coolest place in the city. Not cool as in like cool, bro. But like cool as in...
freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just pump up the AC.
Yeah. Do you guys do that weird Canadian summer cottage thing?
I heard about this. Someone mentioned it as a weird Canadian thing.
Well, only we do it?
Well, we do go to this cottage. Our parents rent. They've been renting cottages. Well, you don't go because you freak out because there's no technology.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
The last cottage our family used to rent, it was like at the bottom of this giant hill, and so you try and bike up it to get out. But it's like stretches of road until the next tiny town.
Basically, like I'm not saying Wicker Man or nothing, but like. The cottage would be like at the bottom of the road at the end of nowhere. Yeah. And so like you couldn't like it was like technically it was kind of a community at least. Like there was houses around. It wasn't just like one and nothing.
I like it. I like just getting away from the busyness and you know
still busy.
But I mean if I don't take computer stuff up with me, I can sit down and draw trees, people.
Oh sure.
I can actually write and bring
I couldn't write because my handwriting is horrendous, so I need computers to write.
Well, you can bring a laptop.
To the sandy beach.
Well, you write at the cottage. You should come up this year.
I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time because I kind of like I don't know. I didn't really. There wasn't that many people like at my age up there, or at least if they were, I didn't know them.
There were people, but they'd go wandering around at night, and we weren't allowed out at night.
Yeah,
I'd be like, well, this is the friendship making hour.
Yeah, this is where the stories
We're running around in the woods.
I was like, no. I'm like, this should be our rebellious space. I know. We should rebel. It's too much effort.
But okay, kids who wants to go to comic shopping, yay!
Hooray!
We were really easy kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that on the record.
We were no trouble.
I have no stories. Like everyone's like, yeah, me and my, buds at the time, we pushed over cows.
Well, I hear Jerry's stories because he grew up in the country, so he's got like
this one time we were
stories.
drag racing, but it was like, dirt road, so it was cool.
Me and my bro were in the backyard one time.
Oh yeah,
and we were like making gossip.
Do I have a story to tell?
Nothing.
This one time, I put Coca-Cola in the ice cube tray instead of water.
Oh damn!
And I got Coke cubes.
We used to make radio plays and stuff though, and audiobooks of the Jurassic Park.
Yes, actually, yeah, there's a lot of roots to our current insanity that
Well, because we couldn't.
Flexbox is a cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story. I mean, it was we just kind of our outlet ended up being making things.
Yeah, it was kind of because we couldn't really run around much and be crazy. So it's we put the craziness on paper and be like, one day these will be our life stories. People will live through these and be jealous of us.
Or we listen to our friends' stories and write them down.
Yeah, we're like, wow,
that was a great adventure. I'm stealing this.
But I don't know how we got to this. But the point was, I didn't really care for the cottage lifestyle just because, as a family trip, I wasn't interested. So I haven't been
you were any of the basic trip or the classic trips too. Like when we went to Europe and we were in Paris and you were just like, what's one to do in Paris? Meh. These statues were in the Louvre. He's like, meh.
As I told you, I was so tired at the Louvre. I was looking for benches to sleep on. Because everyone's gathered around this Mona Lisa, oh, this Mona Lisa. I'm just I want to sleep.
We ended up going away from the travel group to find our own authentic food, and I had this egg salad that made me throw up in the basement of that restaurant, but I was like, oh, but I'm in Paris.
Oh, it's genuine Paris.
And the worst crepes ever where the guy handled our money and then was making our crepes. I was like, Paris.
One of those pizza machines are human free.
I know. I want a
grabs the money, grabs his balls, and he makes it with a crepe.
Flavor. You don't like ball crepes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Some kind of
I guess that's the other problem with visiting cities is there's nothing a lot of major cities are fairly similar. Mm-hmm. So if you're not in the mood to spend money, it's kind of tricky to unless you really want to soak in the atmosphere and look at everything.
Yeah, I like meandering. So
meandering's fun.
Usually, if we go during a convention, it's you're going to meet comic people, so that's your
That's
common...
the thing for me, as I discovered with all my travels and any of my travels, I'm not really good at showing up a place for the sake of going to that place.
Yeah.
Because I'm not one of my recent trips was Montreal. We met up with Flexbox there, it was awesome. But we got there, and it's a work day. And we're wandering around, and it's oh, the financial district. Nothing to do here. Oh, malls. We got HMV back where we come from. It was just kind of is there a friggin' parachute thing I could jump off of or something? What makes the city any different from any other city?
Like any city, there's stuff you can find.
Oh yeah, there is, but I think the thing is you have to know people. Fortunately, we had Chris to take us around and be oh, this is the place where you could play video games, and it's awesome because it's great. And I didn't know that place existed. It was great, but it's for me, it's I need to go to a city for a purpose, and then I could be and then I'll mess around. I'm glad we found that deep dish pizza over in Chicago. That was good. So good.
That was a good city to wander.
Yeah, and I'm I know some people might be oh, that's not even the true pizza. I'm you know what? It was great. It was great.
And if it wasn't true pizza, that means we can find true pizza.
I don't care that it's basically another TGIF type place, but it was a good pizza. Mm-hmm.
People can't just let you be happy. they need to just, oh man, you didn't have the right stuff. It's I enjoyed myself.
That's always after the fact. There's always people tell you where you should have gone. They don't tell you
what you should have bought. Or, oh, dude, I could have gotten you that so much cheaper.
Yeah, they don't tell you where you should go. It's always after the fact. It's oh, dude, you should have gone here then. I'm where were you when I said I was going?
Yeah.
How did we get to this?
I don't know. It makes me angry because I think about New York and I'm like, I know there's good food there. I just couldn't find it when I was there.
It's tricky. So
how do I wander into like Little Italy and find the worst pizza shop ever?
Yeah.
And the grossest one.
Next time you're here, we can hit up the fourth wall. Says Fluxbox.
What's that, Fluxbox?
See, that was the thing, is like I've always, for myself, I haven't really had too many opportunities to host. As far as like people showing up, be like, "This is Toronto, check it out."
Stresses me out a bit because I get excited. And I'm like, "Oh, now I gotta know all the awesome." But I mean, we know we're
we know decent. So like, I don't get enough chance to do it. So I'm never really sure what is good in this city to be like.
I can lead other fellow geeks around, but if someone's like, "I want to find a cool night spot," I'm like,
"Oh yeah, no, I'm no help there."
I don't know.
I'm like, go to King Street, walk around. Yeah. But like, so I feel like I did a decent enough job when we had. Like, I feel like whenever TCAF comes around, I'm all right for like being, well, this is this, and you can look at this and go here and check that out.
Yeah, well, because it's like, oh, here's this awesome little the Magic Pony. I take people there, and then around to the crepe shop, and then to the comic shops, and
yeah. Basically, once again, though, these are all places you have to spend money.
I know.
That's the problem. Is
well, you could just hang out in Trinity Bellwood.
Oh, you could, yeah.
What can you do without money though?
That's the tricky thing. It's like whenever I visit a city, I'm like, what can I do that's awesome and completely free? And it's like, so like you'll run into things. Like we were lucky enough to find a street ukulele band performing in Montreal, and that inspired me to like play ukulele music. So I'm like, that's cool. That's the kind of stuff I want to find, like these kind of niche little things that there's probably a schedule somewhere for them.
That's the thing, because it's fun when you bump into them, because there's stuff in Toronto that I'll just randomly bump into and be like, oh hey, and it's, you know, it's if you schedule it, there's more chance you'll find things, but it's not as fun as just randomly finding like a band playing in the park or something like that.
He's saying at the shop it's owned by the Blind Ferrets, so like the people who publish Girls with Slingshots and Looking for Group.
Oh, okay,
over
cool.
At that shop. So let's check that out if we go. I don't know if we're
artist uses comic.
There's an opportunity to go to Montreal coming up. It comes down to time and finances if we can do it, but that'd be in September.
Yeah, we might go in September for the
Montreal Comic
Expo because they will also be announcing the Joe Shuster Awards.
Yes, Joe Shuster's going on over there, which we were lucky enough to be and grateful enough to be nominated.
Very, very, very honored to be nominated
for this book, Silly Kingdom.
Yeah.
2 nominations. We have the
Gene Day Self-Publishing Award.
Gene Day for 2011 self-published books, as well as the Dragon Award.
Comic for Kids.
Yes, Comic for Kids Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Or the kid in all of you, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Because the kids could enjoy it.
Yeah.
That always comes up. It's like, do you write specifically for kids? And it's like,
no, you write for yourself.
You write.
You write for your characters.
You write for yourself, but with like the censorship of not being like, you know, crass and crude. But it's like you don't want to like hang back on your humor too much. I guess that's the challenge. Because I guess I never really sat down and been like, I'm going to write for kids, because I don't understand kids.
Well, I mean, think about, like, you know, Pixar films and stuff like that. It's not like, we're going to write for kids. It's like, let's tell a good story that's G to PG rated.
A story that is appropriate.
You know, but it's not even like you have to hold yourself back. It's just there's certain elements we won't include in these stories, but we can still make it a really good story.
Speaking of Pixar, teaser's up for Monster University.
Oh.
I just watched it earlier today. You can check that out.
I did not see that.
Yes.
As the prequel to Monsters, Inc.
Yes. From Pixar.
Okay.
You check that out. It'll probably be in the commercial, like the opening reel for When You See Brave this weekend, I suppose.
Oh.
They'll probably show it there.
Well, they also have the Cars Land.
What?
There's a Radiator Springs in California Adventure now.
Is there now?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep. Just a bumper car.
Endless Guys and absolutely love Monsters Inc., but I can't say I'm terribly excited for the prequel. Yeah, well, all right, here's one thing I want to put out there right now. I called this as soon as I heard there's going to be a prequel to Monsters Inc., and it's based in university.
Well, it's going to be how those two met.
There's going to be a joke, I swear to you. If my assessment of how people write, there's going to be a joke if someone is going to be like rallying or doing a protest on the lawn about energy crisis, and someone's going to make it about how there's no more screams. And someone's going to be like, fuck, like that'll never happen, Sully. Like, we never run out of laughs. There's gonna, I swear to you.
Of screams.
Keep an eye out, or screams, yeah. Keep an eye out for like a joke about energy crisis. And someone brushing it off, being like, oh, that will never happen. I swear it's going to happen.
And they just stare at the camera for 5 minutes.
Go,
Tell Tell me you watched it. You didn't watch it?
Yeah, didn't
Why
you?
didn't you watch it? Why would you watch the prequel if you didn't watch it?
I saw the teaser, and historically, Pixar teasers have always been hit or miss. More often,
That's the thing.
miss.
Yeah, I didn't like Finding Nemo teaser.
The only good teaser they had was Incredibles. Everything up until then was always like this weird.
It was him, Mr. Incredible, trying to put on a suit.
And that basically set the movie perfect. Everything else was always like,
what'd they do for Ratatouille?
What is this movie about? And the worst of the worst was Finding Nemo, where it was just kind of like this weird two-character shtick. Where it's just two people talking, but it's not like great talking. It's just like, oh, what about this? And you're like, okay. And Finding Nemo was great. The movie, I loved it. You know, I'm emotionally invested. Laughs and fears and stuff. It was perfect. It was a great movie. It had everything. Like it's actually I don't think I've ever actually nitpicked it. I can nitpick a lot of things, as you may know. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever had any problems.
No, I feel like
with Finding Nemo.
The beats and everything are very interesting and very clear,
like,
and everything makes sense.
The only thing I may go way out of my way to complain about is like why does Dory know to read English or something like that? Like I don't know.
They're talking fish.
Yeah. So it's like I'll give you that. I'm not gonna go on that. But like I don't think I've ever had any problems with Finding Nemo at all. But the teaser was just awful, and I feel that's kind of the case. Like I don't know. I watched this one. I'm not gonna give you guys Wait for it.
It's a spoiler alert.
I'm not sure. Did I call this a spoiler-free alarm?
I can't tell anymore.
This is a spoiler-free zone with spoilers. Okay.
So cover one ear and listen on.
So if you haven't watched it yet, you know it's not like I could possibly spoil a teaser for you. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's like it's just kind of like it's just stuff is happening, and it's very like wink wink in kind of a way because whenever characters who already know each other, this irks me in anime especially. But it's usually to establish the character, so it's always like, "Hey Mizuki, you're late for school. Chill out, Chihiro, my childhood friend." Hey, Kazubushi.
My favorite are the jerk aunts or parents like, I don't know why I took you in.
Every manga, whenever like the daughter or the lead character is like an orphan, it's always the dick aunt or uncle is like, I don't know why ever since your parents died in that accident, I bothered taking you in under my roof. But
I know all these jerks. It's like, don't do me no favors.
So it's this very expositional stuff, and I feel like you may argue, like, well, how else will we learn the characters' names? I'm like, by not using exposition and natural conversation. Mm-hmm. I in my life rarely, if ever, use people's names to their faces.
Yeah.
Like even on the phone, it's just hey, we have call display.
It's really awkward when you're supposed to introduce me to people, but instead we're just all standing around. You don't introduce me to any of your friends.
Like.
It's like you just start a conversation. I'm like, I guess it's up to me to introduce myself.
Yeah, figure it out. Figure it out yourself. So like,
you're not exempt from polite society.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry. Point is, it's like
why don't we figure it out?
I find anime does this like excruciatingly bad. It's always like the first episode. It's like, "Good morning, Chiguki Zuki from next door. Not my childhood friend of many years. I have glasses.
Who's this man?
I secretly want you, but I won't act until a third party interferes and is more attractive than me, and then I'll tell you halfway through the series that I'm into you, and then it'll be
really
awkward." Yes.
Jerk.
Monsters Inc. kind of does that, where it's like, very funny, Mike Wazowski. Good one. Blue guy. Maybe I should know their names. Sullivan. Way to go, Sullivan. High five, Mike Wazowski. It's like, all right, you guys know each other.
I think it's John Sullivan.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt very like that. And the weirdest thing, it's like, one of the lines that Sully says is like, "I love college." But this is John Goodman, who's like, what, 50, 60, whatever years old, being like,
it's been quite a while.
I love college. And I'm like, is he like freaking Belushi in Animal House where he's just been there forever or something? Yeah. Where he's like,
this is actually
the best
after
7 years of my life.
Movie.
College.
The best 7 years.
And it's just like, I'm not saying like he should have been recasted, but it just sounded really weird because I'm like, I know in my mind that man is like, you know, John Goodman, and he's like not a college student.
You can't suspend disbelief for that.
No, I can't.
He's a talking monster, and you're like, what is he in college? I don't know. I don't buy
this. It can happen. Like, voice casting.
They're harvesting the screams of children for the power of their country. You're like,
I
don't know.
This is what the suspension of disbelief is. It's like a superhero can fly, but he can't resolve his relationship with one phone call being like, stop being angry. She's like, okay. And we'd be like, what? You know, or like...
Wait, what was this?
No, I'm just like making generic examples. Like, you could be like, the suspension of disbelief is a fascinating thing because fantastical, amazing things can happen. That's called the suspension of disbelief, where we're just like, oh yeah, there can be dinosaurs and jetpacks. I'm good for that. But if it's like, you know, the guy's like, the main character gets everything just so, where it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to win the trophy at the saxophone festival. And he does. And then the next day he's like, I don't know if I'm going to win the friggin' school lottery for the bingo. And he does. And it's just like...
This is a triumphant story.
His friend is a dinosaur with a jetpack. I'm like, I believe
secretly
that.
Into him. I won't tell him until the halfway through the series. Ow, Mitsubishi.
Until another dinosaur shows up in his favor. He's like, I should have told you.
This is awkward.
Like, damn, now I have to choose between two dinosaurs with jetpacks.
Some people don't even got one dinosaur.
Who wins my favor? It's that kind of thing. So suspension of disbelief is a fascinating thing where it's like, I could believe in the magic of the world, but it's like certain ground rules exist so that you can be invested at all. Because if there's no weight to your story of dinosaur jetpack, why do I care?
I need to know what that thing feels.
Make me care about the dinosaur with the jetpack.
Yeah.
And you can actually. There's a game called Jetpack Brontosaurus.
Oh, is this a segue?
Yes. It's actually a really old game. You can check it out. You can play it in your browser. It's basically a brontosaurus with a jetpack.
So he's like all long-necked.
Yeah, but he goes like...
Bizarre.
They're the same guys who made Raptor Safari, where you're a raptor in a Jeep. You're driving around collecting other dinosaurs.
Wow.
There's a series of great games out there, which...
Is it like that bear driving car one?
Yes, it's another one. Ecobear on the iPhone, where winter's coming. It's not a Game of Thrones reference, it's like... Yeah. And you're a bear in a car driving around like the forest, and you're like collecting fish and stuff.
So weird.
But the mechanics are like you only have one hand to use, so you have like push the gas, then grab the wheel, and then push the gas again.
And then there's a fish on your windshield.
And then a badger will come in and attack you, throw him out of the car. It's a great game.
Weird game.
It's fun.
I think I smell dinner.
Speaking of dinner, segue, TV dinner says Brave seems to be getting slightly mixed reviews.
I don't want to hear that. It's like when I wanted to see Prometheus, and it's like I go onto Twitter. It's like, saw Prometheus, meh. I'm like, oh, come on. Now I'm gonna go in with these weird hang-ups.
With my MEH-xpectations?
Well, I go on Facebook. It's like, it could have been better. And I'm just like,
everything could
don't
be
want to
better.
hear anything about anything. I want to make my own decisions.
So
now, thank you. Brave is meh. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Did you just write McElephant?
No, I was trying to write. I don't know how to spell MEH-xpectations because that'd be a great name for the episode.
MEH.
E-X-P-E-C-T.
MEH, yeah.
So
MEH-xpectations.
Would it be MEH-xpectations?
Great MEH-xpectations.
M-E or M-E-X. That's like Mexican. MEH-xpectations.
Meh. Here.
Damn it. I'll let you do it. I'm still excited to see it. It's creepy porpoise. I feel like 3D movies are, with a spunky female lead, would get weird mixed reviews. I'm curious because we've talked about how all the kids in friggin' How to Train Your Dragon have the American accents.
Yeah.
Even though everyone else in the island is Scottish.
Yeah, I don't know how that
because, like, all the parents are Scottish. But all the kids are...
You gotta earn it when you be a Viking. You get your accent.
But, like, the idea is, like, you don't want to scare the North American audience with all these accents.
Children just start crying.
Yeah, because they'd be like, Mommy, I don't understand. I don't know why I have an accent. I don't understand why everyone speaks Scottish. I don't like this, Mummy.
I'm not even speaking Scottish. It's some posh Brit accent. No, it's Australian.
Alright, let's try this again. Mom, dude.
Dude, Mom, what?
I don't know why they're speaking this gnarly accent, dude. And so they test screen, and they're like, we better get all our American children to voice the children in How to Train Your Dragon. So we end up with, what's his face?
Oh, Butterface.
From Sorcerer's Apprentice. Because nothing offensive about that voice. Buttertooth. To the sky.
Sounds like he's eating butter in every scene.
So then we get Brave coming around where everyone has the accent. So they're like, I'll be shooting for my own hand.
I have to say there's some scenes in the trailer where I'm like, I want my freedom. It's like, but do you know what the price the freedom will cost? I'm like, is this an actual line or is this
price?
Like... Is this,
the freedom!
No, but like, is this a trailer line or is it like, because that's kind of an awkward conversation.
Daughter, you don't know the price.
Of your freedom. Oh, yeah, you can't do the L's.
Friends! Freedom! Goes on! That kind of deal. So that's what we're dealing with, and it's like I'm curious to see Like, let's... There's elephants in rooms. Let's go nuts. Friggin' Princess Frog. Princess is a frog.
That was...
People will give their... regardless of story, people will give their thoughts why the movie didn't do well. It's like, we have a black female lead in the movie. It's like, that does not work because the movie didn't do good, so obviously that's the reason.
No,
we will never do that again.
I would hope not.
And that's but this is the scary way Hollywood works. It works on statistics.
It's like, girl lead, no.
It doesn't work on feeling. It works on, this movie with a female lead didn't do well, so let's not do that again.
But there's tons of movies with male leads that didn't do well.
Good.
So it's like, do you not have a male lead? Like, it's stupid reasoning.
But the problem is this is how it works. So I worry that if let's just say it was story, of Brave. If the story wasn't too hot, everyone's like, didn't do good. They're like, Pixar, we should not have done a female lead with a Scottish accent. I'm like, I don't want that to be the reasoning of statistics.
It's all story. Yeah.
It's story in the end. Cars didn't have any accents. I just hate it because I hate Cars.
Ciao.
It's just, I felt nothing for the characters, and I was just watching the motions. I'm like, I'm happy that the kids enjoyed the cute cars.
I felt bad, actually, because it was on TV the other day, and the beginning is very manic, and I do find I get taken out of it. I'm just like, why? Oh, really? Like, I'm trying to analyze. Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to study Cars?
Well, it was on TV in between the, come on down to Radiator Springs and California Adventure. And I was like,
oh, was it? Oh, that's why you know
there. Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably still go.
I would totally go. I really want to go to
Just, I hate Cars. I'd love to be there. It'd be amazing.
It just wasn't for me.
Let's see. Creephorse says it was crippled by the fact that it was 2D animated Disney movie. It was compared to the
See, I remember that people were talking about when what was that movie that came out from DreamWorks? It was
they did a 2D?
No, they did a 2D movie with Sinbad. Sinbad, I think, way back.
That was kind of the
And I remember reading this review that was like, the review in the paper said it did bad because the story was awesome, but it was because it was 2D animated and it needed to get with the times. So if it was the 3D animated movie, it would have done better. And I was like, I don't buy that at all. It's not the tools that are used. I don't remember liking it much. I mean, I might like it if I watched it again, but I remember being like, the story was kind of Well, I mean, it was like an epic story, but I don't know, maybe there were scenes I didn't get into the characters, but I don't think making it 3D would have suddenly made it better.
Yeah, there's awful 3D movies. Here's how it kind of works. Technology.
They're the tools.
Technology are the tools.
The way of telling.
But there's also don't take this as me being like 3D is easier. But it's like 3D definitely has something where you can generate a character and not have to redraw them 50 billion times.
3D is more time.
3D has a different set of problems and stuff like that. But it seems
3D movies I think still take like 3 years.
But kind of the way I'm going from this is. Back in the day, we got Jason the Argonauts and we got this stop motion and it's jaw dropping. There's skeletons and all this great stuff. Then as 3D came out, stop motion becomes not a practical means because stop motion was used in everything. It was used in commercials. It was used in kids shows because that was the most practical way to have non-drawn content that was three-dimensional. There you go. And then when 3D animation comes around, it's like, well, now stop motion has become kind of like a Polaroid where more practical means of photography have come out, so it's become
do you still
an eclectic
develop film,
art.
or do you use?
So you don't use it as a means of. You don't always just use that exclusively as a means of telling a story. So often
there's
it's
a look
used
to classical that you can't get.
But often it's used as like that draw to be like, oh hey, this is a stop motion movie. I think
that's why a lot of people didn't want to say anything too negative about Princess and the Frog,
Maybe.
Frog Princess, because it was it was there were some really funny moments in it, and it was like I'd say there was really, really nice there was beautiful classical animation in there, but it's like there were things with the story I didn't like, so when I'd want to be like, oh, did you see that? People would be like, I love that movie, and I'm like, but there's problems. Why is she a frog for like the whole thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. I mean, there's really great stuff in there, but yeah, we won't get into that rant today.
No, we don't have to rant about nothing. But I'm just saying it's kind of interesting. That's kind of like 2D classical animation has now kind of become that, it kind of eclectic if you think about it, because in as much as stop motion is like more of a passion of love than a practicality. Like it's not practical to do Jason the Argonauts and Army of Darkness.
Well, that's why you won't really see any more classical series done here. When you think, like we were watching a while back, took a look at the first episode of Gargoyles, and there were all these crazy scenes and things.
Oh, really?
It was like you won't really see that in TV animation today, but
unless it's Korra.
Yeah, where
unless
it's
it's
being done
like
specifically
someone
for-
really fights for it. Because I feel like in a studio you might have to fight for why should this not be Flash.
The thing too, though, is that there's a very and I saw that Brave Star thing you sent me where it was like the heyday of Brave Star, and it was like people will talk about the 80s and how animation was amazing, but people won't talk about all the crappy animation that was out there too.
Oh, there was the 90s and 80s was a wonderful time.
Some bad stuff.
But imagination was rampant.
So it's kind of like
appreciate.
There's some shows today where no, this doesn't need to be classically animated because you can easily do this in Flash and it'll tell the story. And you have there's some things where it's like you can use Flash and you can make it really, really great because you can make key poses and you can make it really stylized and you can do really good animation because you can pretty much animate traditionally on a Cintiq as well if you're doing every panel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know my point.
Well, the whole thing I was writing up is like it seems a lot of these art forms were once the practical form, but now they're the eclectic.
Well, because it was all you could do.
Yeah. So now classical animation has been replaced because Flash you can like save your walk cycles and you don't have to keep making them again and again. So Flash and Toon Boom and all this such has become the practical form. Classical animation is now an eclectic thing. So then you're going to start seeing all these Kickstarters for like, I used to do classic animation. I want to bring it back. Because I've seen all these stop motion Kickstarters.
If you do a classical animation, you can't just... It's like you need something that specifically lends to that. I think you can't just... I'm going to do my sitcom where it's just... well, I mean, Family Guy's classical, I guess. But it's all just a lot of retrace head and move around. That stuff. Yeah, in The Simpsons, we'll still see... Yeah. There's a certain look you get from it.
I feel like there are a lot of the exceptions. Just because they're... Like, if Simpsons changed to Flash, like, overnight, people would notice and be like...
Well, I mean, if it's done wrong, it looks weird. It's like when the Looney Tunes came back, there was some odd stuff with that relaunch. And, I mean, it wasn't the animation particular. There was bad sketches.
Oh, it was
like weird, like a rap with Yosemite Sam, and I was like,
because
really?
It's modern and funny.
Like, it was awkward.
If there's one thing...
There's this gag where it's like Bugs Bunny takes... whoever that girl bunny is from Space Jam, he takes Girl Bunny out for a date, and the whole gag of this thing is that her purse she's pulling so many things out of her purse. That's the whole gag, and he's looking at the camera like, oh my god, women, right? And she's like, here's my phone and here's my makeup, and I'm just like, if I was watching if I was watching like the old ones, it's like the whole point of this is that Elmer wants to get Bugs, and here's going to be all this crazy hijinks. But here it's like they're sitting at the table, and isn't this funny because girls carry giant bags?
I think that kind of goes back.
But why is this even animated? Like, there's no need for this.
I think that kind of goes back to my problem with the Finding Nemo teaser, because it was just like what's that term we call it, like it's like stage business when it's just two people doing something.
Well, you're just riffing,
but it's not particularly interesting. And where classic Looney Tunes was great was it took you all these like Bugs being chased by Elmer or a witch or a fuzzy guy took them all over these environments, and it was hilarious and they had music. But when it's just two characters sitting in one place, all of a sudden everything is relying on what are they doing right now and why is it funny.
That being said, we grew up with like the best of the best Looney Tunes because I have seen stuff that where I'm like, oh, this episode is kind of...
Well, we did have
but I mean, you're making so much that you can only... Not everyone's going to be awesome, but I mean, we grew up with the best of the best Looney Tunes, so it's like, these gags are hilarious. Like, the opera guy, I love that one.
Yeah, oh, that's one of my favorites.
The wrestling one is hilarious.
When
with the
Bugs is playing a tuba, when this opera guy's trying to rehearse, and it's just... they just get so angry at each other.
Like the wrestling ring with Ravishing Ralph and the Smasher. It's so good.
And like he's just standing still, and Bugs is like trying to grapple his arms.
Or the barber of Seville. Or
and there's Seville.
It's such so many good gags in there.
Or the one in the Roman time with like the lion pit.
Oh yeah.
And he's like going across with the stilts, and then he throws the saws and hammers down to the lions. They start cutting at the wooden. Like you don't see it, you just hear it.
Or he gets out of the room, and there's a rug, and then the lion's arm pulls the rug and him like into the room because the lions are just punching him. Like that stuff's really funny.
It's just like weird.
And it's like, but that stuff's still funny today, I think. But I guess some people don't think it's funny.
When you have to like modernize everything and give everyone the cell phone joke and give everyone the Facebook joke, it's like, well, you don't have to try so hard.
Because that's not what the show's about.
To use contemporary technologies to make humor. I guess.
Also, too, it's weird when I see contemporary jokes in cartoons because I'm like, oh, that's like so old now, that thing they're referencing.
Oh, yeah,
I think there was an episode of Futurama where Leela has a Susan Boyle on her butt, but it's Susan Boyle, the singer. But it's
That
was like, oh, this is so
that was a strange episode to me, too, because I'm like, Futurama was never really... as specific, like their reference were usually like references from their own time put into a modern context.
Sometimes they'll reference stuff where I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
it's pop culture. I don't know yet.
No. So that'll be it. I will learn once I've written for a show to be like, well,
musical episode.
I understand. Yeah, I understand what they went through.
Because I think when you do a musical episode, you keep getting payback from it.
Because you can sell the music?
If you're a scriptwriter and you write a musical episode, I think there's a certain contractual thing where it's like every time it's on TV, you get a...
Oh, really? Because music.
So that's why you'll see so many musicals in some shows.
Is that why Seth MacFarlane crams so many songs in Family Guy?
Maybe.
I could understand now. I understand his ways. What's going on right now? So it's... I don't know how to gauge our timing, but it's 10:16 now.
We started at 9.
We started at 9-ish. Been an hour and a half.
Just go home from work.
This
is fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
It feels good to yammer.
See? There we go. If you guys have any questions, of course, throw them our way, because it helps us
we're happy to
think of better things than ourselves.
Yeah, because we just ramble.
Yeah, because we just regale you on our childhood in-jokes. Yeah. We're like, remember the time we had that thing? We made the boulder go backwards and forwards. You should have been there. That was fun, though.
Yeah.
And we did actually have that episode with the bugs in that thing, too.
Oh, I love those when you go backwards.
Yeah. You'd remind
Yeah, it was those lens things where you look at light and you put a tape in and
back in my day, before the kids had these newfangled Angry Birds, we watched our animated Fingerbobs and the Twisted Doodle when the light came.
They had the one that was like the live action Black Hole movie from like the 80s, and like all this comets going through the ship. We're like, what's going backwards and forwards?
We had a lot of fun with that. Basically, that was our version.
Oh, and then you had those ones where it was the click, and then it was you saw a different screen from Bambi or something.
Well, that was the 3DS scope thing.
Those weren't the same, but you got depth. And
yes, it worked like the 3DS.
We got a lot of cool gimmicks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I remember. Yep. Double checking the chat.
Anybody up to things?
Nah, I don't seem to be. What else is happening? I'm running out of things to tell you about. Oh yeah, I finally watched that He-Man What's Going On video.
It took you so long to watch that. I've now said, hey.
Well, because I knew it was around. Two says, I gotta go to dinner. Crazy scheduling. Well, we gotta do dinner too. We'll probably be wrapping up around the half hour.
When it cuts to Skeletor, I think of you.
No, well, the problem is, like, I knew that was around, but I never really watched it. And, like, I've known the image of him, like...
Same.
Like
no, and I watched it one day when I really needed to see it. And I
finally sat down, like, yesterday, and it's like... I don't even know what he's saying. And then he goes, and I say, hey!
And he's dancing.
And he's dancing, and then this other guy starts talking to him, and he's like, no, don't pray! Just like... And, like, I realized I just never watched that. And the moment that kills me in the video is when it cuts to the kitchen and you hear, like, the music through the door, and it's just like... He's
just having a dance off in the other room.
What's going on in the other room? And I'm like... And the unfortunate thing is now that song has been stuck in my head all day.
Yeah.
Like, that rendition.
Well, too bad we can't play it out. Sometimes I just need it to get my day started right.
So I'm like, ugh.
What's going on?
It's like, no, it's been so long since I actually saw it. Because I know.
It's kind of like, it takes me a while to get onto some memes because it's just, there's so many of them. And when I do, I'm like, have you seen this? And it's like, yeah, everybody saw it a year ago.
And we start sharing around like, dudes, this is the funniest thing ever.
You watch this, it's like those... What the heck is
G.I. Joe?
Yeah, exactly what I was talking about.
The G.I. Joe PSAs?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that stuff's amazing. Like, when that first came out, that was like, I was watching it on E-bombs, for God's sake.
Yeah.
This is like pre-YouTube. And, like, I was crying watching the G.I. Joe. Like, the one that kills me the most is... there's three of them. Or there's five of them. There's not the pork chop sandwich is the most well-known, but my favorite one was the kid's gonna pull the fire alarm. And the guy runs up with a mask. He's like, you wire. And he's like, oh. He's like, all right. He takes his helmet off. He's like, Punk. I know it's funny. These people, they go to sleep. Think everything's fine. Everything's good. Wake up the next day and they're on fire. It's just like, it's like that so one. Weird. It's Buzz Lightyear. It's the British guy with the ice.
What are you doing on my lawn?
And
give him the stick, dude. Give him the stick.
I'm a computer, of course. And my other favorite one is just the kid at the cliff edge. He's like, hey, Mom, check this out. And the kid falls off the cliff. He's like, shit. This goes G.I. Joe. So and I'm like, 2 in the morning as a kid, just crying watching these. Like, almost 15, 20 of them in a row.
Yeah.
And the guy, like, the kid on the dance floor. And he's like, damn. These beats are so fresh. Snap. And I'm just, like, clicking through these crying. Oh, my God. I like the one with the Aussie puts the kid in the fridge. It was like, we had a good conversation. Get back in the fridge.
So weird. Oh, God.
And then I think one of my penultimate is, I believe I knew your mother.
What the?
So she hang out by dockside bars.
Dockside bars?
Johnny, do you play baseball? It's just cuts. And it's like these videos, like they make up. It's the weird thing what makes up your childhood.
Yep.
I appreciate that's like the works of others.
It's sweltering in here.
It is hot in here.
And there's stir fry downstairs.
There's stir fry downstairs. All right, we're going to be wrapping up in the next 9 minutes.
I can show what I was doodling. It's this really intense dude, though. It's weird.
This is an educational show, after all. So
just another option to... I am so slowly moving through these commissions because all I'm doing is work.
Oh my god.
But this is another one for the magic one, but this guy's expression is so weird. He's just like... And he's got this flaming hand and then
it's like a swashbuckling Slytherin or something.
Yeah, there you go. So that's option 3 for
Give him a wand so he's a mix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm giving him flaming hand.
Ooh.
With blue ice.
Because you have a blue pen, I take it.
Yeah. Well, I also like blue.
Oh, okay.
It's like lightning.
Which apparently everyone can do now.
I love that, yeah.
Oh,
gosh.
What?
Last episode.
What? No, we're not in spoiler
We're not
territory.
going to say anything, but yeah, I got to talk to you about that. No.
During Stir Fry, we have to have our Cora talk.
Yeah.
You can join us.
Oh, dang.
Once again, yeah, we got like 8 minutes left. You guys have any questions on... This is a learning show. I'm out of material.
Do I have anything?
Do you?
I'm not allowed to talk about the work I'm doing.
Holy Musical Batman and Monsters University Trail. That's all I wrote for this week. It's been a kind of a quiet week because I've just been doing resume stuff all week.
Oh, there's that prequel to Sleeping Beauty coming out, I guess.
Oh, the live action Maleficent.
Okay, here's the thing. There's this show. It's hilarious. There's this show in the studio I work in where it's top secret and it's in the basement and no one can go to the basement. And they joke about it because you go down and it's like these pylons and like this blanket. Because they don't want anyone speaking to the people working on this project.
Scary.
And it's it's even like when they're giving me the tour, like, oh, you can't go down there, but here's the floor map so you can see where the area that you're not allowed to go into is.
And they're working
on this project, I guess. I can't even talk about any of this, any of my speculations. Anyway, yeah, I'll talk about this later. Forget this. I signed a contract. I can't say anything.
Remember, you have to sign
No, but
things.
I think I know what they're working on. That's why I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I signed things. I'm not allowed to talk about anything.
No.
This is why Shrub Monkeys don't get made, because it's like, I can't talk about that.
Oh, really? You can't talk about life?
All I do is work.
No.
I'll make more Shrub Monkeys.
Yeah. Well, don't tell the fine folk here.
Well, yeah.
Then they'll be excited.
No, it's once I start putting them out, there's going to be a backlog of them. So, but yeah, there's a Facebook now. So if you want to see what we're up to, you can see us Shanahannigan's page, like us on Facebook. We're going to be putting up until we get our website going. That's going to be our website, I think.
Oh, does it link to there right now?
Shanahannigan's goes to like nothing right now.
It goes to like the very first.
It goes to weird.
The very first Shrub Monkey comic.
Girl-O-Matic is back.
Yeah, I noticed that actually. Wasn't it up in like April?
I wasn't told about this.
I just found out randomly.
Yeah. And then I went onto the forum to be like, huh? And then no one told me. So.
and no one answered your question.
So we will still be making our own site soon.
Yeah.
But for now, the Facebook is where you can find.
You can go back to Girl-O-Matic.
Because I used to make my own Facebook public, but then it's like people add me and I just here's what pictures and.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
No, there's nothing. I don't upload.
People have two different Facebooks. There's their own page and then there's the fan page. So you can make a fan page too for your own button, Shanahannigan's.
Yeah, because I had a Katie Shy and I was like, I don't want to just have a mere blog. So Shanahannigan's, we can throw up fan art people send us. We can throw up weird stuff. Chris, are you making anything this episode? Because we love those. And I might not put up too much art, but we'll also have photos when we go to conventions and just random stuff.
Oh, I brought my hard drive so I can give you those.
Yay!
I've been meaning to give you photos for
we have Vancouver stuff.
Yeah, I have Vancouver photos. I've been meaning to give those to you like forever.
Because you had the good camera.
Yes, I did.
I had my crappy little iPhone camera.
I drew a dinosaur with a jetpack, says Endless Guys. Excellent.
Awesome, Endless Guys.
Did you draw it as a shoujo with star-crossed lovers? It's a love triangle between two dinosaurs with jetpacks and the lead characters.
Some dude with bad hair. Oh no.
And glasses. One of the dinosaurs needs glasses. So he could be like, I always liked you. Am I not man enough?
Yeah, because there's the wild guy with the crazy hair, and there's the guy with like the short black hair.
I want this comic now, because it's like your typical shoujo girl and two dinosaurs. Who are vying for her affection.
And one's from the 80s. He's like biker mice from Mars.
He's the cool kid in school that none of the girls talk to.
He's got like the neon green headband and the spiky hair.
But she finds a way to his dinosaur heart. I can see it. If I could draw, I'd make it too.
Yeah.
I started practicing. Yeah, I got a tablet. You heard me.
Yeah.
Ain't no Cintiq, but
comics.
I got tablet.
Yeah.
I can't draw. But look at me.
You can draw.
I spent the day. I made 5 drawings, and they're the worst.
But you can't draw professionally.
Oh, God. I can draw my dual faces.
Can
Basically, my version of a comic is like just a row of faces with words.
He used to work at this place where every day he'd draw his face for his mood. And so I see this sheet of paper of just this meh face where it's just straight faces and just the eyes are getting slightly sadder and the mouth is always just this like meh. And it's like,
I never explained that.
You know what? A good sign of if you should quit your job and get a new one is if you draw your expression every day at work and you're looking at this wall of meh face.
Like, I wasn't even in the cubicle. This was like the main foyer of the office, and I had all these sticky notes of all my like distressed faces lined up. What was wrong with
me? No jobs I haven't been happy at. Like, I look at my sketchbook and I'm just like, what's with all the mopey characters?
Yeah. Then I eventually started making comics, but at the time it was just...
it was sad.
All these faces.
It's like, you know, it's funny until you walk into the room where it's just nothing but sticky notes, and it's like the...
But then when I was working at other places, I started making like little like comics in my notepads of just like it'd just be like phases. But then I noticed my art was just getting worse because I was getting sloppy because I want to get done quick. I'm like, I have a deadline. But I never shared them with anyone. I was like, I gotta get done for today. And the art was just deteriorating. I do want to talk to you about like an idea because because at the beginning of this episode we talked about how Ustream, we're running out of space on it, so we're gradually deleting stuff, but we're also uprooting old episodes over to YouTube. Check out Shanahannigan's Live. I don't know the exact URL. It's just YouTube/user/Shanahannigan's
Live or all
No, Shanahannigan's Live. That's the Gmail.
So that's SHANAHANIGANS
Live.
Yeah, see that works.
So look for that. I'll make that for the website. It's the first thing you'll see. But we're gradually uploading a lot of the old episodes and deleting them from here so we can add new episodes.
So that we can still stream live.
And then I was thinking of like if we want to do like if you had time. If we want to do like weird shorts, if you just drew me like basic Cromartie High style, like just faces.
Well, we did that one where with that face and you had the human lips.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I don't want to use human lips though.
Okay.
That means I gotta be like, and I gotta cut out my mustache. But it's like if we want to do like just some short, quick ideas, we came up with this name called Don't steal it. Shanimations, which we could basically upload there for you guys. Just to get me back into animating because I haven't done enough After Effects. I've spent all this time doing like resume stuff.
I'll build your characters and you can do
sloppy.
that. You should do stuff with Alan because we have that rah face.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, if you go to Maps.
No, it's not Think
Geek Trip Maps.
GeekTripMaps.com will take you to another. I have a lot of YouTube channels now. This is weird.
Yeah, you also have
GeekTripMaps.com will take you to a YouTube channel. It gives you the tour of Toronto. We're still looking into whether we can do other cities or not, but it basically shows you not all of them because we can only do so much in a little time. But a lot of the geeky highlights. You can check out comic shops, candies, toys, video stores, theaters, and stuff like that. And there's also like an animated Alan that shows up. It's not. I wouldn't even call him animated. It's a lip flap.
Good moves.
But it's basically that stuff I can do. If I can't draw, but if you give me characters, I can like make the mouths move.
I've built you stuff. We can do that.
That was for Okay, so I'm not gonna say anything else right now. But
we'll have secret talks over
we'll
Stir Fry.
Have more secret projects that I've been promising forever.
I know. You know what? A lot of people don't make stuff till they're in their 30s, so
that's encouraging.
Got some time.
That's good.
I guess a lot of people also make stuff now, but
I'm gonna start making stuff because I'm tired of not making stuff.
I need to find a way to make more time because, like, I really like getting up early, but I'm finding with how late this job is, it's like I get up at 6.
Really? I'm working on
50. And I'm not home till 8.
I woke up at 8:45. I'm gradually going to sleep earlier and waking up earlier.
I have to catch the bus by 8 if I'm going to make it across town, which is stupid. Okay, it's been over a year since I worked in a studio, so I got really used to just living the freelance life, being at home, making my own schedule. If I want to take a yoga class, I can take a break and make up for it. If I want to go for a walk, I can do that. I don't feel like I'm being watched. But if I...
What?
Well, no. But if I need to get across town, it's like, it doesn't take that long to get from here to Jarvis. I can walk it in 40 minutes.
But the bus...
But it's the morning commute.
Yeah.
I am so not used to that, and it's so soul-sucking.
It's a different time zone.
Because it's like 6 streetcars go by and they're crammed full of people, and you're like, I'm not counting on that, that's stupid. And now I'm at the point where I just want to get to work, so it's like, opens up and people look at you with the sad cow face and you just shove yourself on and then you're all sitting there. But I mean, it's like, I was saying this to Jerry the other day, it's like, you think, I'm in a big city, top of the world, I'm working a cool job, but as soon as you get on that streetcar, you feel just like an animal, and you're just like, you got you're just being put, exactly. It's like, but
just like that.
the analogy, but it's exhausting.
It's a different lifestyle.
Because it's hot in there, and people are on their phones, and nobody's getting up for the people that need to sit, and it's just, you're looking at people.
And someone still sits on the outside seat and leaves the inside seat open.
Always.
So you're like, can I get that seat? They go.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, just shove over. Chances are we're getting off at the same stop.
I know.
But it's like. So you'd rather have my ass in your face than you shove over and let me sit down.
Because I will put my ass in your face. And if you're all getting off, you're all obviously getting off at Union Station, at whatever the station stop is. So people don't need to be like, excuse me, I need to get. It's like, we're all getting off. Just stop pushing.
Like, it's a major stop.
By the time I get to work, I'm already stressed out because I'm used to my leisurely morning.
Sometimes I skip stops because it's not worth working through the crowd. I'm like, I'll walk from the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well just walk to work, but it's a bit of a distance. I am going to start biking.
They have showers there, though. It's just like...
I know. The thing is, if I bike, I'm going to be a sweaty mess.
Yeah, that's the deal.
Yeah.
Speaking of sweaty mess.
Yeah, gosh.
I'm sweating all over your chair.
Sweat through my chair again. Every day after the show, it's like, I'll sit down to do something, and it's just damp.
It's so hot up here, guys. It is quite steaming up here.
Well, heavens to Betsy.
Speaking of heavens to Betsy, I'd like to propose you purchase coffee. Take a look at Silly Kingdom. You can check it out at sillikingdom.com. Is that it? Yeah. Yep. Man, it's been a while since I've said this. Yep. Sillikingdom.com will take you over to the site. There's a blog right now.
Right now it's a blog, awesome. But still awesome.
Sillikingdom.com will take you there. You go to the Big Cocktail store. I'm sweating. Big Cocktail. You can get the PDF for $4. Or if you like to fan yourself on a hot summer night, you can purchase the $10. It says right here, great for fanning. Perfect. So pick yourself up a physical copy.
Kazu said that.
Kazu himself, Kurt of Anna, said, "Good golly, it's hot down here." I better.
But don't quote me on that.
We'll sign it for you with pens and
always.
Art. Give it off to.
And as there's only about 80 copies left, you're getting an exclusive
limited
book
edition.
Because we might not print it like this again.
This may be the last of the perfect bound.
Of the digest perfect bound, because we need to find a way to make this a little bit more cheaper. So we're going to have to do staples from now on. But if you want the last of the perfect bound colored first front edition.
Yeah, you can say you were there.
Yeah. You can order it or meet us at a convention. We are sadly not going to Comic-Con this year. But I am sending copies to Trickster. So they will be in San Diego. We'll go next year. Stuff can still happen.
Who knows?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a big box of money somewhere? Speaking of big box of money, you'll feel like a big box of money if you pick up this copy of Cautionary Fables and Fairy Tales. Many different artists, many different writers, many different styles, all tackling classic and unknown fairy tales and folklore from all around the world. If you want to check that out, definitely. You can go to CFFT.
Cautionary Fables and Fairy Tales. .Big Cartel.
.Big Cartel if you want to get a copy of this fine book. You want to do that. It's fun, it's silly. You can check out our book of Tatterhood. Great.
Our 16-page story.
Check it. It's fun. What else we got? Twitters. Check me out. Shaggy Shan.
Katie Shy.
Katie Shy. I got a Tumblr called Shaggy's Mind Sauce where I post often some of the stuff I talk about. You'll see there if you want to learn more about this amazing pizza machine.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, go to Shaggy's Mind Sauce. Check that out. The new Shanahan's.
Oh, it is good for fanning.
The new testimonial. Shanahan's web YouTube. Go to Shanahan's Live on YouTube. Just type in Google, should show up.
Yeah, and like us on Facebook because we'll be putting stuff up there.
Check out the Facebook.
And it's a better if you're on Facebook, it's a better place to follow us than my Facebook. That's just nothing's happening on it. So.
Chances are we'll actually reply to that. Stuff is on the way. Stuff is in the works. Keep an eye on
Facebook something shenanigans. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay, keep an eye on stuff.
New episode of Talking to the Camera tomorrow. It's an update episode, but maybe I'll be making some full episodes soon because I gotta cut my hair first, though. It is way too hot to film and have hair.
I don't know how... Yeah, you tell what?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I might chop all this off.
So it's about 10:30 here. We have food downstairs, I heard.
Yeah.
It's probably cold.
Yep.
We should go get that. You guys should get your own food. Thanks for checking out Shahangans Live every Wednesday, usually around 7:30.
Yeah, thanks for coming on for the late show, guys.
Thanks for coming out for late night. Lucky you guys on the West Coast, but if everyone else, sorry you missed the show. But as we say, every episode is recorded. The ones that get deleted are going over to YouTube. Check out old episodes and see if we've learned from... maybe you see the progress in me being like, I love movies. In the first episode. I don't believe it. You could do that. Disbelief. I disbelieve the heat. And that means I'm going to go eat.
Go turn on the AC.
Alright.
Later, guys.
See you guys next week.
Oh, it's my chair.